reasons why I love you and none of them rhyme. 9 times 9, 81. Bonnie and Clyde. We got high and sat by the Wellington sign. I had one hell of a time. It's rock and roll till I...
Welcome to the Green Tea, Freedom and Truth channel. This is Tristan. It's good to have the Green Tea team back for this Wednesday, the 4th of November 2020 edition of the video log. A big thank you and much appreciation for everyone who has liked, shared, commented and subscribed to the channel. It is much appreciated. Here I am in beautiful Taupo, New Zealand, at a bit of a different location today, just down from the Control Gates Bridge. It's a little windy, so I hope the audio is all good. A shout out to, since I did the video on Sunday, a shout out now to England and Ireland, who have now gone into lockdowns, communist dictatorship, tyrannical lockdowns again. So a shout out to you all, our thoughts with you. And yeah, so today, this is for the brothers. This video is a little bit for the brothers in the audience, and just for those people that are in lockdowns. Just so you know, right from the beginning of the year when I started my channel, I have done my videos predominantly outside. Freedom, truth, going outside, not being controlled, not being contained. It's a little stand up against, you know, unlawful laws. Just so you know. This is for the men that in the Green Tea team. I know the Green Tea team guys are, you know, strong and active and speak their minds. And, you know, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And I have found over these weeks and months, since all of this V-word 19 pandemic stuff has been going on, I have noticed that a lot of men have been quiet. You know, I've seen a lot of women standing up. I know the Green Tea team member men, which I've got a 50-50 audience ratio on this channel. But yeah, the value of strong male role models, strong male mentors, men mentoring other men is so important. It's so important for men and the young brothers, the teens and the 20-year-olds coming up.
Typically in those old cultures, the children would be raised by women until they were 12 or so, and then the boys would be taken from their mothers to be raised by groups of men. If it was a warrior culture, the boys learned to fight. If it was a farming culture, they learned to farm. In a tribal culture, they learned to hunt and fish. In essence, they learned to be men from their fathers and the group of other men who made up the masculine side of the equation in such a society. If a man had an incompetent father, then his uncle, a friend of the father, or another man would raise and mentor the boy. The word mentor has nearly been eradicated from society by virtue of the modern industrial school system that has a one teacher to many student structure.
And I know for me as a man coming up, you know, there was more men in, more male mentors, more male role models around. School wasn't a completely feminized environment. There was, you know, strong men at school, sport, you know, coaches, this sort of thing, you know, and they had big influences on me, you know, because I was a young buck, thought I knew it all, as a lot of us do. And, you know, I had a softball coach. You know, they have wisdom, knowledge, you know, calmness. They've seen some battles. They've been through some stuff, and they can pass that on to the younger generation. And I had a rugby league coach, you know, older Māori guy, Johnny Heta, when I played for Otahuhu Rugby League Club. you know, he sat us down at the beginning of the season. He said, you know, listen, guys, under 18s, you know, God first, family second, work third, and league fourth. You know, dropping wisdom, giving us some context, speaking up.
It's good times create weak men create hard times create strong men. So it's a cyclical history cycle of weakness and power and strength. And we were talking about hard times create strong men, and Jeff, you know, he's filming right now, he just said, oh, it's totally true, man, it's totally true. And I said, yeah, we're getting weak here in the Western world. And the weakness is getting out of control. Like right now, America is kind of like the Rome, the last big empire to fall. You know, the empires have been Greece, it fell, Rome, it fell, Britain really after World War II lost all its power. And now America is the next empire. And what happened at the end of the empire is the men become weak, and then the barbarians come in and raid, right? You know, like there's all different stories throughout history of weak empires where the barbarians come in and destroy everything that we built.
And as Stefan Aarnio, who was just speaking, the author of Strong Men Create Good Times, Western men are becoming weak, and the barbarian is at the door. The barbarian is at the shores. Our rights and freedoms are being taken away as we speak. People's abilities to work, their, you know, people can come into, you know, military and police can come into houses now, mandatory testing, these things, and the men are letting it happen. The men are not standing up, they're not making a stand and saying, no, this is unacceptable. We can look after ourselves and our families and our neighborhoods and this type of thing. It's like deferring power over to the strong leader, which we're seeing around the world. And in our election, we had just had, you know, a lot of men deferred to someone who can sort it out for them and not take responsibility for it. And it is important for us as men to look at this, make the changes, and hold each other accountable for what's happening, to encourage each other to be, you know, stronger and have responsibility. And I had an interesting conversation with a woman on a subject about the late term abortion, and here's a clip of what I had when I had this discussion with her. And I was having a conversation with a woman, and I had recently done my when I talked to her, my video on my thoughts on the late term abortion law in New Zealand, the horrific law. And she was saying that as a man, it didn't sound as good coming from me as it did coming from a woman. And as I said to her, I as a man have a duty of protection and provisioning for, you know, my family and children. And if I don't speak up about, you know, what's happening to the babies, that is a dereliction of my duty. And a man whose wife, partner or girlfriend is carrying their child, you know, he has a right to have input. He has a right to have an opinion and have his say, even if in this societal time it might be viewed as her body, her choice. You know, that is his child also, and he has a right to stand up and protect that child. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Have courage, speak your truth, support each other, have faith and have fun. Peace out.